I say hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down, y'all.
Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Okay, I talk first, you talk first.
You talk first.
I talk first? Okay.
Star Wars reference out of the way.
Oh, so hi, and welcome again to the Hunkerdowncast. This is episode number 10. This is episode number 10, and
We are officially better than the Star Wars trilogy.
Because of 10 or because of
Because
7?
we did 10 episodes.
We beat them.
And Jurassic Park.
Yeah. And it's not even really 10. It's actually
Transformers.
It's actually like 17 or perhaps even 20, depending on how
We have
you
some
count.
offshoots.
Yeah, so
Some little Wolverine movies off to the side.
right. What do they call those? Those are
Those are
Serials?
Freebird rules.
no, I'm talking about in the
Spin-offs?
spin-offs maybe, but like not. Yeah, I guess that's what you would call it. Spin-offs.
They're like assistant coaches on the Saban family tree.
Something.
They're all coaching their own SEC program now.
It's true. It's like the Parcells tree in pros.
Right.
Same shit.
Well,
But-
I'm Allie.
Yeah. Who are we? Allie's here.
Yep.
Lance is here.
Who else is here?
Oh.
Jeff's here.
I'm here. Sort of. So that's us. But also this week we have our first official to celebrate episode 10. We have our first official special guest. So
Yeah, that's me, Mark Mosley.
Yeah!
Hi, Mark.
Hey, what do you call your fans?
Tim and him.
Tim and M.
Tim and them.
Yeah, Tim and him.
We're hunkers.
Hey, gang.
Or hunks. They're Tim and them.
All right, and I'm the guest.
I
Yep.
don't like being called a hunk. That's kind of weird.
We're taking that word and we're changing the definition of it, Allie.
Oh, are we?
It doesn't mean a big, strong...
reappropriated?
Yeah,
Really
we're
appropriate
taking this
word.
word.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no longer heteronormative.
Fuck that. Right, we can... I'm sorry.
We're off to a great start.
Already off the rails. Already off the rails. That's great. Within
Off the
first-
whales?
Yes.
So because Mark's here,
Yeah.
we're going to be able to... we'll have a little added insight into the political landscape.
No guarantees on that.
Okay.
Okay. Well.
It'll be a lot of...
Well, it'll be a fourth portion of our usual
Yeah, there'll be a fourth-
non-insight.
There'll be a fourth voice, yes, maybe.
a bigger sample population.
It sounds good. Yeah, actually, there's like a ton of stuff going on, not only this week, but like actually tonight, there's like 1,000 things going on right now. Bill Clinton is in Baton Rouge speaking. They're
here.
Big dog, huh?
yeah.
Speaking of hunks.
Yeah, exactly.
The Republicans are debating right now as we speak.
Well, I wouldn't call it debating, Jeff. Oh,
They're-
sorry. That was... You opened the door.
They're
I had to walk
shouting.
in.
They're doing whatever this primitive nature show battle for dominance thing that they do.
They're mounting each other on the stage, humping each other's legs, peeing on bushes over and over again.
Right.
It's quite the fruit salad, I hear,
It's right.
Yeah.
according to Dr. Ben Carson.
One of them is out on the plane looking for his own pride.
Yeah,
Right.
how many are left now?
It's only Rubio, Cruz, Trump, and the other
Kasich.
guy. Yeah.
Kasich.
That's
They're
it.
down to 4.
They're down to 4.
Wow.
So-
I never thought I'd see the day.
No, I mean, for a while I wasn't really sure if Carson was going to leave or not. He put out this thing the other night about on Super Tuesday.
Yeah.
He says, well, as long as God is opening doors for me, I'm going to keep on.
Eating that fruit salad.
Right.
That was
Keep
an
on fucking that chicken.
And then the next day he said he couldn't see a path forward. So I guess God.
Did one of his Jesus paintings in his house come alive and talk to him that night? Was that what we think happened? When he flew home to get a change of clothes?
Something like that.
Can you explain to me what that link was that you had posted on social media about him? Because the headline was just fucking hilarious to me. It said, Ben Carson, my presidential run was a scam.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there was an article that was out.
So
in the
he got
Atlantic.
scammed?
Yeah, the aspiring commander-in-chief, leader of the free world, just got taken, basically, by his own hand-picked staff.
So they were like,
they couldn't manage the money. I was as surprised as anyone.
They were all just like, we're grabbing this.
So
like,
this is a common thing in Republican political circles and like conservative political circles. They use direct mail all the time, and so the whole purpose of this campaign, some people think, was to get an enormous list of people who would be susceptible to a direct mail campaign, so that they would send money, like Cash for Gold, or like give money to preserve American
so like
monetary freedom,
this was
or
kinda,
an old lady sitting in her house.
Yeah, they're preying on old people.
This was
is what they're
the
doing.
kind of cutting edge tactics in the 1970s, basically developing lists of people to mail to and hope to get a mail check from. Apparently, they still do that. But Ben Carson, he was.
You could get
this
shot
is like
tapes
old school
back in the
Ryan
day.
money. He was getting some money
Well,
from that.
He was not aware of it, or he was. He was in
didn't-
on it.
I don't think he was aware of the expenditures that the money that they were getting in was being spent.
So, but this is kind of the thing in Republican politics, especially now. As Ali was saying a minute ago, it's like several of the that's one of the reasons why there were so many Republican candidates this year, because there's a lot of these operatives and grifters who need work or need a reason to get on the gravy train.
God damn! I'm sorry I missed this.
As long as you can be a professional fundraiser and live that way for several months out of the year,
I want to be a professional fundraiser then.
that's
Fuck art.
That's basically what this is about. The article we're talking about that you mentioned is called "Does Ben Carson Suspect His Campaign Was a Scam?" And it was in the Atlantic, and it's by David Graham, and it was just published last week. So all of this stuff we're talking about is in there if you want to look at that.
As someone who loves grifts, I think I have to give this grift 4 stars. That's a pretty badass grift, man. I'm proud of these guys.
Well, I like that article because it has one of the few photos of Ben Carson with his eyes open, wide open.
It's a pretty terrifying photograph.
But, I mean, to Ben Carson's credit, he did get a little boomlet, as I call, a surge in popularity during the late summer. Believe it or not,
He did.
He was in second place. Trump started, saying how crazy he was because he's a Seventh-day Adventist, and
He is?
yes, and Trump was starting to, play a little rougher with him, and then of course he just went down the pipes in terms of the poll numbers before November, December. But he was up there with Trump for a little bit. And leading the polls in Louisiana poll, believe it or not, here in this state.
You guys, I have a question. I saw a sedan on Tulane Avenue yesterday, 2 days ago, and it had a bumper sticker on it that said, "I'm with Ben." Was this a Ben Carson campaign sticker?
It may be a Ben Kenobi campaign sticker.
Oh, well, that would be way better.
Or a Ben Solo campaign sticker, which would be way worse.
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
you don't want him running your...
I think
It's too many Star Wars.
it was, looking at the driver for a half a glance, it looked plausible that it was a Ben Carson campaign
Did the sticker look weathered at all, or was
No,
it
shiny.
wasn't one of those ones that kind of like those Gore Clinton ones you see?
If you're curious about it, there was a poll that just came out this afternoon. Let me see.
Oh, sure.
If I can find that one.
Did you know what?
The state?
Yeah, for Louisiana.
I saw a car on Earhart a little while back that had one that said that, but it also had a Carly Fiorina bumper sticker on it too. So I was like wondering, is this person like either or are they a couple and only one of them's driving now? Why would you have 2 candidate stickers on one car? Especially those 2.
I think, is anyone driving now? That was a good description of the race for long periods of time. I saw my first Trump sign in New Orleans.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, on State Street. They had nailed it way up on a tree in Uptown there.
Oh, way up there.
I had not seen that since the David Duke days, where they would.
They made sure not to.
They'd have to put the sign so far up to prevent tampering, and also to regain exposure. There's like some by the interstate for years after he ran. But yeah, that's a little Trump momentum there in uptown New Orleans.
So to answer the question though about there being Carson supporters in Louisiana, there's a poll that came out. I guess this is March. Is this March 5? Well, no, I'm sorry. Saturday is March 5. This is this week, and it's by Trafalgar Group. Do you know anything about this?
No.
Okay.
Isn't that where old guy, the planet the dude went to in Slaughterhouse 5? Didn't he end up there?
I think you're thinking about something else.
No?
Yeah.
Hey, Tim and them, look that up for us. Holla back.
So this Louisiana poll has Trump with 44 this week. Cruz is in second with 25, and then Rubio is in third with 14. Carson is actually still leading Kasich, even though Carson's not in the race. Right?
Yeah, suspending his campaign.
So that's where it stands going into Saturday. And so I know that this week Rubio had planned to be in Baton Rouge, but then he pulled out of that appearance at the last minute.
Yeah, and apparently he tripled the number of rallies he's doing in Kansas instead. So he's going all in on Kansas.
Wow. I would have thought
Who's doing that? I'm sorry.
Rubio.
Oh.
I would have thought that he would have been in Florida right now.
He wants to win Florida.
Because their strategy at this point is, how do we stop Trump?
Right.
And I thought they would have just sent all of the little guys over to wherever they can just pull in the most delegates and work their areas. Like I know Kasich is going to try to get Ohio, even though he's trailing Trump in Ohio.
That's his home state, huh?
Yeah, he was the governor of Ohio, is currently trailing Trump in the polls
He is
there.
the governor of Ohio.
Yeah. Oh, is he still?
He is.
Yeah.
Listen to
Jesus.
Yeah.
So,
Well, maybe if a couple of those guys bailed, like Rubio, then
Wait,
maybe Kasich.
Did Ohio not vote on Super Tuesday?
no.
No.
They're March 15th with Florida, and they're both winner-take-all states.
Okay.
And because they're Rubio and Kasich's home states,
Right.
they're must-win for those guys. But I don't think, even though there's, Republican thought leaders who might think that everyone can coordinate as an
Republican thought leaders.
anti-Trump effort. These are ambitious guys that still think that they can, find a way to win somehow, whether it be, catching some momentum after they win their home state, or Trump imploding, or a brokered convention or something. But, I agree. Rubio, if he doesn't win Florida, he's not viable.
He got him that one. He got him his one.
Minnesota.
It's like after the Saints, they go 0-4, and then they win that one, and they think, hey, man,
Right.
we
Anything's
could make the
possible.
fucking playoffs here.
If we win,
I was
9
like-
of our next 10 games.
Yeah. We go on a run.
Well, here's our future Republican nominee for president, Donald Trump. Here's a live update from the debate right now. The headline is, Trump brags about his penis size. Quote, I guarantee you there is no problem.
Okay.
Wait, I wonder what
is it a
included
size-
that. Like,
is
what?
it size or functionality?
Apparently, Donald Trump responded to a jab Marco Rubio has made about the size of Trump's hands.
Oh, I
A
see.
line widely interpreted to be a reference to his manhood, a sentence that makes me want to vom, by promising that when it comes to the size of something else, he guarantees there is no problem.
Well,
Okay, well,
that's good.
This comes up.
it's penises
more than
tonight
you
here in
think
the.
presidential elections. Believe it or not, I think in '92 there was, believe it or not, a little tiff. I forgot how it was raised, but no pun intended. But
Oh, God.
the Bill Clinton versus the elder Bush, George H.W. Bush. I remember the sitting president at the time saying, well, if he wants to, match up his with mine, well, I'm happy to do so.
I do remember that.
And this was sitting president, basically saying, hey, we'll
In 2000, there was one also.
de-trow and, measure ourselves.
Like a literal dick swinging.
Yeah, not
I will
literal.
Literal.
I will say, for the record, the specific description of the president's penis did indeed become an actual issue
Right.
later in the presidency. So
In 96. 7.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It may not be something to completely disregard as a campaign issue.
Yeah, I think Gore and Bush were kind of in a tete-a-tete about who fucked their wife more, and there was a bit of a discrepancy. And then Gore had to really make out with Tipper
At the
one point
convention.
on stage,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
just
remember
to
that.
show.
Yeah, that was
You know,
gross.
Yeah,
I think this is
That-
why
that-
men should
you can
be banned
legislate-
from running for president.
you can make really amazing foreign policy decisions if you have a big penis. I mean, you're not going to run in there with some.
It's
elect me,
subtext.
elect my amazing manhood or something. That's awful.
That's right.
God, country's fucked up.
This is what we've come to. Because we mentioned the possibility.
Just the Republican. Hold on a second. It's not the country that's fucked up. It's the Republicans that are fucked up.
I think it's
And
men.
we've always known them to be fucked up. So,
Well, I mean, it's a little bit more complicated than that. It's more the whole system is really in kind of chaos this year. This is an unusual year.
it's funny as fuck.
It's very entertaining. We're talking about the possibility of a brokered convention, and that's one of the things that that the Republicans specifically are in panic about right now.
Mittens is jumping in.
So
That was-
they're throwing whatever they can at them. They're throwing last week they turned Rubio into Little Trump insult comedian junior, and that didn't work out so well for him. And then this week they've hauled out Mitt Romney. So
Yeah.
the question I guess I have for Mark specifically is,
Oh, yes.
do they know what they're doing at all?
No, they don't. They don't. They've been, totally proven wrong and surprised for 8 months straight. And some Rubio advisors think their best bet is a brokered convention for Marco. I mean, that he doesn't really have an electoral path except for him and Kasich and Cruz splitting enough delegates so that there is a brokered convention. Can you imagine what that will look like in the age of, Twitter especially? I mean, it's going to be crazy. And if you follow it through, I think whatever emerges from a brokered convention, which might be someone like Paul Ryan or who knows what kind of
Or Mitt.
craziness. Right, the
Or
rumors
Mitt,
will be
which is
fine.
what Trump was trying to
It'll
say
be
today.
so late and so dissatisfactory to so many conservatives, independents, some disaffected Democrats who were on the Trump train that I think that's actually a worst case scenario, even though it's the one being proposed by certainly Rubio's team right now. I don't think they've thought it through.
No, I mean I guess that's what I'm saying. They don't
And
really-
it's kind of the thing about what it's saying about their party is that you have these kind of, it's splitting them up. And I know at the beginning it seemed like Trump was kind of threatening them with okay, well, whatever, I'll run as an independent and you guys won't win. But now it seems like somebody else in their party might run as an independent or also run for president, and then they will end up fucking him out of the presidency if he happens to do it. But either way, if somebody runs against him, they are fucked.
right.
I know, Jeff, you think that that he's marching to the White House and everything. So it's no, they're totally fucked. They couldn't be any worse off.
Well,
Right now, the party wants to be separate from the voters, and you can't.
That's the
can't
problem.
win like
That's
that.
the problem they're making for themselves, and I think it's. I agree with what Mark just said. I think it's if they finagle a way to steal the nomination from Trump, if he goes into the convention with a commanding lead in delegate count, people are going to see that as thoroughly illegitimate.
They're done.
Right.
Yeah, as a legitimate party, there has to be some sort of third party that comes out of that.
Well,
I mean, we might be looking at the end of the GOP as we knew it.
Well, there's the possibility that Trump would run third party this time, although I don't know what the timing is like for that. I mean, is it possible to get on the ballot?
Well, shit,
after
somebody
the
should.
convention? If they screw him at the convention and he goes,
Oh man, if it's like if it's Cruz as the Republican nominee and Clinton as the Democratic nominee and Trump as an independent.
Right, but can he get on the ballot in time in all the states in order to have any kind of an effect? I don't know what the process is for that.
Yeah, I suspect so, but I don't know it offhand for, as all these different. But I think so, because in years past, like Ross Perot in the 90s, he came in kind of late, and then, one time he's like, I'm in, I'm out. I can't do an impression of him, right. Sorry. I know that Ben Carson impression was kind of set the tone earlier, but I can't compete with that. But I suspect there's 90 days out you can still get on with a little cash, a lot of signatures from pissed off followers.
Find some party that
sign me up. I'm gonna run.
Oh, that was outstanding.
It's Ross Perot. Thank you.
Well done.
Good job.
It's just saying. Wow.
So he's created a lot of chaos.
I'm all ears.
I've always thought that was sort of his point all along, was to make a spectacle of it. But he is ruining that party.
So,
I never had a whole lot of respect for him anyways, but I always kind of respected him as hey, those are as the other side, and saying, hey, at least consider what they're saying and then respond to it intelligently. But now it's just whoa, these guys are completely fucking nuts, or at least a percentage of them are.
So you guys are
more than I thought.
You're answering the question that I was going to ask him was, is Trump going to blow up the GOP? And you were like, yeah, he's going to.
I mean, I think they could certainly recover, but man, I don't think they're going to win the presidency.
Okay. So my next question is, what's happened here?
It's going. It's lagging.
So my next question and behind that is, you don't think he's going to win at all? He has no chance to win the presidency?
No, because 60% of the country, I think, is white. And half of them aren't going to vote for him. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't think he's getting any other vote.
Okay.
There's not. Yeah, I just don't think. It seems really like he's got this fervor going behind him, but then I think there's that it's a very large, small percentage.
Okay. So, do you agree with that, or do you think that maybe there's a chance that Trump could win?
Yeah, there's a chance. If he's the nominee, he's got a chance. There's too many unknowns with Trump for anyone to just intelligently forecast something for sure. I think it would be extremely difficult for him, but it throws open so many different possibilities that I was wrong about him lasting this long. I didn't think he would get to the first debate before imploding, but he somehow maintained.
I don't think anybody.
No one.
We've
no
all
one
been
suspected.
wrong.
So that's kind of a beautiful little thing. One thing that Lance mentioned that I really agree with. Trump is exposing the top-down nature of the Republican Party's scriptedness, and the Democrats are not much better at all. But there was a lot of hey, this is what we believe as conservatives, and that includes supply-side economics married to this what I call fundagelical social issue stances. Mm-hmm. Those don't naturally go together. And it's not necessarily the most important thing to the run-of-the-mill voters. And yet, we saw it, clearly and painfully here in Louisiana that Governor Jindal was, adhering to the party line on economics, namely Grover Norquist, never raised taxes, never raised, and all government cuts are stimulative. That's the other flip side of it. Yeah. And he did both, and the state is now in recession.
or worse.
Or worse. But that was the party line. And going against that, would be a danger for a candidate normally, because the whole establishment comes down against you.
So there's this schism between, what the Republican establishment believes or wants economically to happen, and what they depend upon to get their base out to vote for them. There's a completely different.
Yes.
There's a conflict of interest there that is difficult to reconcile, intellectually. And this year, Trump has kind of just found a way to just slice it in half and
Play
kind
the
of show.
Yeah.
He's playing their game better than they are.
Right.
They ever did.
Yeah, he's gone. He says, okay, the illegal immigrant issue is moving a lot of voters. Vitter comes to that every election cycle as his, way to try to win, and it didn't work this time, interestingly.
Mm-hmm.
And Trump went hard right on that, but he said, hey, you know what? I have a different explanation for your economic woes. That's, a lack of leadership with the Democrats, he's saying. But also, hey, there's this big trade imbalance. These other foreign countries are screwing us. Our problems are not just with these illegal immigrants from Mexico and Central America, but it's also with the Chinese screwing us. And
right.
And so this is like a little fortress America nationalism that the other candidates are too scared to.
They're unable to take.
They're
those
unable
positions
to.
because
The establishment says, "Hey, by the way, we're free traders along
Right.
with this supply side
Yeah.
stuff. You won't get our endorsement. You won't get our money." And then he's kind of lifted the curtain on all that.
And there's another thing that you've pointed out about Trump that allows him to take that position because he's not beholden to anyone.
No.
Like I think, what did you call it? It was a billionaire's populism.
yeah.
Because he, he's not part of the system. He doesn't depend on future patronage from the party or anything. Nope, they can't punish him.
Right. And one of his best lines in the campaign so far was, I've been greedy all my life. All about, me. Now I want to be greedy on behalf of the rest of the country.
Right.
And that's simple enough.
Good grief.
You're gonna like it. It's gonna be so
Yeah,
great.
it's-
I won't go back to my old self. I swear. This last time. I swear. This last time.
And
I
you're
won't-
gonna be so
I
happy.
won't be like I was. I
Something we
swear.
talked about on Twitter today was that he's the just do stuff candidate.
Right.
So if you're a person, a medium information voter, and you don't like Hillary because she's a bitch, and you don't like Ted Cruz because he's weird, and
Zodiac killer even.
the Zodiac killer, and you don't
Possibly.
like you don't like either one of them. You're fed up with all of them. Donald Trump is like, you might actually consider voting for him just because he's a guy who's gonna do some stuff.
Right. And the context of this was, and I thought Just Do Stuff was hilarious because it's this possibly phony, but at least it was published letter to the Financial Times by an affluent couple. And you can
Affluent, liberal, and well-educated, I think, was how they
something like
described
that.
themselves. Which,
Liberal was part of that?
I don't think it was liberal, but it was affluent and well educated.
Yeah.
But in any case, it
And
was
white.
It was but we're going to vote for Trump maybe. And we realize, and the quote was, we realize that this is a lot like thinking about we can have the tameable Hitler, but
Jesus
but
Christ.
the alternatives are worse
right.
than Hitler.
Did they use that phrase?
Yes.
Tameable
Yes.
Hitler?
That
Oh my God.
the Germans were using, like in the early 30s, that hey, we can prevent any excesses, and he's going to win anyway. So let's just make a deal with the devil. I'm sure nothing will go
I'm
wrong.
not sure that there is a conceivable combination of two words
Tameable
that
Hitler.
is more chaotic than tameable Hitler.
Well, I think in addition
They're
to
playing at Fitbits later.
I was going to say that. I'm actually writing down Tameable
Whoa,
Hitler.
what's Hitler doing now? All right, get him back in there. Get him in the cage. Get him in the cage. Oh! He got out. Get that
He's
motherfucker.
swinging his dick around again.
Launch the bombers. Tameable Hitler got out.
But Just Do Stuff cracked me up because it's really like government gridlock. or tameable Hitler.
I'll take gridlock.
But I think the power of that is he's going to do stuff that he wants to do.
Yeah.
Which
whatever that might be.
It definitely has some strongman authoritarian
Exactly.
dangers.
He's gonna punch some hippies in the face. That's what he's gonna do.
But
all of his rallies have had like a
Somebody gets punched in the
like
face.
a male act of physical violence.
He's going to be in New Orleans tomorrow night.
Oh.
He's going to be at the Lakefront Airport, and
it's about time someone made the city great. Is all I
right.
gotta
It
say.
needs to be made great, and I thought about going there in my Bernie Sanders T-shirt, but then I realized
You're gonna get your ass kicked.
it's a white T-shirt, and I don't want to get blood all over it. So I'm not really.
He could be a YouTube sensation.
Yeah, well, that's my life's ambition.
But the flip side of that is if he's doing his own stuff, it's not what the donor class or the party line is telling him to do, which, by the way, hasn't worked out so well in the past 20 years. They're tired of the foreign policy, foreign adventurism in Iraq because, hey, the neocons want it. Right. And this supply side stuff, that hasn't worked out that well either for, hey, working class wages haven't gone anywhere. So at least this guy, that's one reason the Trump support will forgive him, apparently an infinite amount of things, indiscretions and all kinds of other things. Because, hey, at least we know he's his own man. And for better or worse, we like that versus the robot Rubio and Cruz with the hard party line.
So the appeal is, everything right now, we know everything sucks and we can't take any more of the same old stuff, and we just know the same old stuff is going to happen. So literally,
except for I don't think everything sucks.
But I'm just describing
okay,
the mood.
a lot of people do.
The mood
for whatever fucking reason.
Well, maybe 8 years of, golly, an antichrist is in the White House.
Who totally did a kick-ass job.
And there's healthcare now, and that's gonna submarine the whole republic.
And there's jobs
there's been
recession is
steady
over.
diet of this on talk radio, on the television with Fox, and hey, it's time for the apocalypse, or else we need someone to guide us through.
So the mood out there is steady decline. We try something and it's the same thing, and we try something else is the same thing, and it really is just do anything, and
do something. The Congress hasn't done much. If you're a Republican, right. They haven't even opposed Obama as forcefully as the pundits would,
because
want them
everything's
to.
going all right. I don't know what everyone is so pissed off about. I know that there are so many people who are upset in this country and everything, and I'm just like, fucking why? Especially Trump supporters, who all seem to be who probably have great fucking lives. They probably have cars, and they poop in potable water, and if they get pulled over, they're not going to get shot and killed. It's just like, what are y'all so fucking pissed off about?
Well,
how?
Well, because there's poop in their potable water.
Right, that would be bad.
Well, yeah, you don't want to drink
this
that.
This is not Flint.
If we want to talk about water, I'll game for that too.
Yeah.
But
it's your deal.
That is my deal professionally. But the flip side to that, here's a counterpoint, Lance. What explains the enthusiasm for Bernie, who has a different view of things, and obviously.
I would guess that Bernie, I would think, would my knee aches right now, or hey, maybe I got a lump over here. I think Bernie would be more considerate that hey, maybe I could get looked at by a doctor and it not fucking cost me.
No,
but
I have
$400,
$200,000 in student loan debt, and I can never have a real
all
life.
that shit that really affects that really we should be not super pissed off about, but certainly feel dismal about, that we're never going to get out of, that somebody's going to get us one way or the other, whether it's a health care or housing or whatever, I always just feel like, hey, someone's going to get all my money somehow.
But that is
It's
more
going to trickle up somehow.
So you've just answered your own question. It is, why are people so frustrated, and what has been feeding this continually growing?
I'm not furious
group of
about it.
people?
I don't want to kick nobody's ass over this.
You may not be, but others are, and it explains. Well, the Trump people want to kick somebody's ass. The Bernie people want to organize and change things over it. So, but in either case, they're still responding to the same set of circumstances, and it's quantifiable. It is a 40-year cycle of productivity not equaling wage growth. It is spiraling cost of health care. It's the fact that people can't go to college anymore without being saddled with huge amounts of debt.
It's the rent is too damn high and nobody lives here anymore.
It's that too. I mean, it's this big package of things that over time, larger numbers of people start to feel left behind by what they're told is the great success of America, where they're seeing their prospects diminish and their children's prospects diminish at the same time that we're told about how wonderful everything is and how great everybody's doing. And it may not affect you in your life specifically, but it does affect a lot of people's lives, and that's why
it affects me. But
it's why they're showing up for Trump, and it's why they're showing up for Bernie. And depending on what your specific way of reacting to things is, it really determines,
Yeah, are you a sociopath, or do you have some amount of empathy left in you?
Right.
you know what? I think that's a great way to put an end to this segment, or at least take a break.
Okay.
And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about some other stuff that Jeff has planned for us. And we're going to hopefully get a lot more out of our guest, Mark.
I'll do my best.
Who has done pretty well so far.
All right.
Okay, we're going to be back.
All right.
Enjoy this bumper music from Seth Hitzke. So yeah, Mark, I've dissected a cat. I did it once in middle school at Pat's in Pensacola, the program for academically talented students, which actually should have been called the program for talented students because I was not super academically talented. And then I did one in high school along with a cow's eye, a cow's heart, a pig's eye, and then I think a frog and a cat.
Is this part of the show that we're doing?
Yeah, well, I mean, I hit record.
Okay.
Because we were taking too fucking
So
long.
we're
back. We were riffing, and
I
it
guess
sounded
we're back
good.
now.
Midstream.
We're back, y'all.
So, hi again.
Yeah, this is what they call in a novel when it starts in media res.
It
drops in the middle of the action, and you just have to figure out what's going on.
Okay.
Like the second Lethal Weapon, I think.
That's a little too much for me because that's basically every day of my life. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
You drop into the action by waking up.
I learned about that term when I read Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and I had to read the first fifth of the book about 5 times to figure out what the hell was going on. And then I could finish it. So, yeah.
It's the way the author was like saying, hey, reader, catch up.
Yep, exactly.
We're doing this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to baby you. Follow along.
You know what's going on.
Yeah.
You're a critical thinker.
Yeah.
You got this. That's what we're saying to Tim and them right now.
Use your head.
I spent a lot of my life just like smiling and nodding at people and then like stopping like maybe 5 minutes in and going, wait, what?
Oh, dude, I do this thing all the time where I think that I didn't hear somebody, and so I say what all the time because at first I'm like, I didn't hear them, but then as soon as I say what, I realize I did hear them. And so then they repeat themselves, and I'm like, yeah, I got that.
Right.
Wait, you come back at them?
What a charming habit. I'm sure that's...
You say what, and then they're like, oh, I know. So then you just come back, I know, because you just told me?
No, I don't actually come back with the thing. But it would be funnier if I did.
You asked to be splained at, and then complain about being
it drives
explained
Pat crazy, as you can imagine.
I would imagine, yeah.
This is Pat the engineer?
Yeah, Engineer Pat.
Engineer Pat. There's no the. It's just Engineer Pat, capital E.
I'm sorry.
What's going on?
Okay, now that we're into the second segment, I'm going to go ahead and read part of an article that came out this week that we're probably going to enjoy.
Oh, yeah, reading.
Yeah, so this is gather around, children.
Hey,
No,
I'm
actually-
a professional here.
So this is only going to be this is our letters to the editor. Why did you do this segment? And this is an article from the Advocate, and it's an unsigned article. It's from Advocate staff report, and I'm trying to figure out who the
Which is
author
bullshit.
Yeah, it's totally somebody wrote this.
That's a bullshit
A person
journalistic
wrote
move.
this stuff. So anyway, so it says, among the unplanned perks of Orleans Parish Sheriff Marlon Gusman's gleaming new jail, free porn for inmates.
Hey.
Oh.
Only it wasn't so free for Jared Pablo Johnson, an accused killer and drug gang member who was convicted Tuesday of sitting down at a deputy's computer in one of the open tiers of the recently opened Orleans Justice Center and perusing pornography at will. Now, before
At will.
at will. Before we get too far into this, I would like to just back up a second and read the original version of this article as it first appeared on the internet earlier this week. Only it wasn't so free for Jared Pablo Johnson, an accused killer and drug gang member who was convicted Tuesday of hunkering down at a deputy's vacant computer in one of the...
What?
So, for some reason, the post-publication, the staff at the Advocate went back and changed the word hunkering down, or the phrase hunkering down, to sitting down.
Aw.
So, I guess the question
They
is...
wanted to deny us our SEO that we earned.
We totally earned that.
Is that what you think happened?
Well,
That's why they changed it? You
well,
retweeted it?
No.
Did...
Yes.
Well, I'm asking, why do you think they changed it?
But
Like,
you did retweet it.
oh yeah, I totally tweeted it. Like, it came
The
in.
original version, hunkering down.
Yeah, I screenshotted it, and you can go to our Hunkerdowncast Twitter feed and look at it, and it's right there. It says originally this person was convicted of hunkering down.
I like how it's
For
all
porn.
caps, kind of like Trumpian, kind of make America great, you know.
I think
Make America hunker down again.
You're onto something.
I'm hunkering down with the thought of Trump for president, but so I think that's a wise editorial decision. I think the writer made a stupid remark that was overused, and an editor came in and was like, "Hey, bro, that phrase is way overused. Change it."
Okay.
Doesn't that occur before publishing, though?
No, I don't think it was in the print.
Not always.
It wasn't in the print. I think in the new
Not all
era
losers.
where you don't have, I don't know,
It's kind of
38,000 copies going out, you can kind of edit things after they get published.
It's kind of a dynamic medium now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it wasn't hunkering, though. Maybe it was just sitting perfectly erect.
Oh!
God.
So it does raise the question though, like how does one surf for porn? Does one sit down to surf for porn?
Well,
Does one?
Well, does one hunker down or does one sit down?
Okay, can I answer this?
Yes.
So when you hunker down, that means that there's something potentially dangerous or vexing coming your way, and that you need to take, precautions to avoid it
Right.
or
Not
to
your
survive
own
it.
computer.
This guy, what the potential threat was the discovery of him trying to, because you're in jail, you don't get outlets for this sort of thing. The potential of him getting caught, or someone in the courtroom perhaps seeing the booty or boobies, or I don't know
Keep going.
what he was looking at. So he probably kind of, used his body to
Okay.
shield it, from
Okay.
the storm that was discovered.
The porn storm.
No, the porn is what he hunkered down into. That was his
Okay.
shelter.
Okay.
The storm was
Bunker.
right. Was discovery by either the authorities or maybe someone in the room, which obviously he didn't hunker down enough.
Okay.
So the law enforcement hurricane bearing
Right.
down on his
They
porn
were,
bunker.
yeah. This convicted gang murderer wanted to,
It's a drug gang, too, here.
yeah. Well,
I'm
mean-
glad they clarified that.
So he's still in a junior varsity gang, is what we're being told.
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't know why they specifically went back and took that word out, particularly given that they left this in, and I'm just going to read the next line. In a jail designed for, quote, direct supervision, a strategy of placing deputies among the inmate population for better oversight, no one was around as Johnson and other inmates got their jollies on Tier 2F, according to a video and testimony of 2 deputies. So
It sounds like somebody, an unskilled writer, probably got that task and wrote this story.
he's a jolly writer.
So, but this was after the Hunker Down got taken out.
Well, after in the second version of this, where they took out Hunker
So
Down,
Jollies is still in there.
Jollies is still
got
in
their
there.
Jollies.
So there's an unskilled editor also, I guess. He needed to feel like he did something. He's like,
Well-
you saw how I just took that Hunker Down out? Yeah, all right, I'm going to go to the break room.
So this,
I'll be in my bunker.
so they're okay with got their jollies, but they're not so okay with hunkering down, and I wonder why that is.
No, I think what you're thinking is that there's some huge oversight, and what I'm thinking is that in addition to there being a lazy writer, there's a lazy editor too.
Okay, you're probably right about that, but I would like to believe that they noticed that we noticed, and then they went back and scratched Hunker Down out.
That might be
So-
the case too.
Yeah, so-
They noticed that we were
They-
making fun of them.
No, they didn't want porn to be associated with our brand. They were doing us a favor.
Oh, we're doing it as a favor.
Yeah.
All right, well thanks, guys.
They were protecting us.
Well, if we want porn associated with our brand, I mean, I could work on that.
Okay. Just the next
I got some
time.
videos I can upload. We can put them in the show notes.
The next time.
No.
It's not.
The next
Okay.
time we have to deal.
Take some pictures.
Sure.
I got some chaps I can
Okay.
wear.
Yeah, you're not doing the show notes.
The singlet.
Oh, well, I got a singlet.
The next
Can we do it? We should do a calendar. 12 months of Varg Vargas.
Right. Maybe the summer months I'll be in the chaps.
If I haven't said it before, I want to thank you all again for having me as a guest.
You're welcome. I hope we don't get you into too much. You're not leaving, are you?
No, but
No.
just as we were talking about chaps and other things, just seemed like a good time to.
I don't think
Thank
we're
you all
gonna.
again.
Chaps always get me in the mood for gratitude too.
I mean,
Mark.
Varg and chaps.
Just wait till Are You Not Entertained? I'll tell you all about the chaps.
I can't wait.
All right, is it time?
Well, don't we want to talk about Marcus Colston?
Okay,
being-
yeah. So let's do that one.
Speaking of hunkering down, the Quiet Storm is no longer.
He was involuntarily hunkered on off. I think
Yeah.
is how you
I
would
just
write
want
that.
to. I want to point out that Anthony Mackie was Bacchus, and then we lose Marcus Colston. I don't think it's coincidental.
No,
I was-
It's a
indeed.
conspiracy.
Thank you for answering the question I was going to ask you.
Oh.
No, great. The Bacchus apparently has some kind of residual power that we weren't aware of.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I am disappointed.
It might not be. We need to look and see if there's maybe a Bacchus curse. Because Hulk Hogan was exposed as a racist. James Gandolfini died. Let's invent one of those curses.
Okay.
Will Ferrell seems to be doing okay.
Yeah.
So
we don't.
far.
Yeah, something could happen.
So
The thing about these curses is that they're not really curses. They're just like life happens to people in the poltergeist.
Yeah, no, this is actually something that we can totally make happen because all you have to do is wait for something to happen.
Yeah, and then say it's because of the Bacchus curse.
That's right.
Didn't we? I mean, we did it, and we being a loosely affiliated NOLA Twitter thing with the Saints and the Black Pants being unlucky.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that was, I mean, anything can happen. I mean, numerically, or mathematically, that was almost true for a while, the
Yeah.
Black Pants thing, until it wasn't anymore.
That's the thing
Right.
about curses is that if they're almost true, they're pretty much fucking true.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever you
It
want.
just has to be almost true.
Well, Marcus Coulson was maybe my favorite Saint, and I'm really sad.
Yeah, Bacchus sucks. Like, I'm not
We
even...
keep coming back to
I
this,
just-
but it's true.
I can never get the mental image of Allie with the mayonnaise on her mouth going, "Fuck you, Marcus Colston's good."
Yep, that's exactly how.
You don't even know,
No, it's
stupid Anthony Mackie.
I didn't know that's who it was at the time, but yeah. And, yeah. I don't recall that it got profane, but whatever.
What is the section 617 song about Colston?
I can't. I don't. It's a thing. We'll have
You
to
know
ask.
it, though.
We'll have to ask.
I've seen you sing it up
It's-
there.
Well,
I know it.
Go
Would you-
ahead,
would you like
Allie.
to do
You
it?
sung Bye Bye Bobby. Allie's going to sing
Candy
this episode,
sweet as
y'all.
gold. Let me see your Marcus
Colston.
Colston. Your Marcus Colston.
Yeah, that's.
Because I don't know why cotton candy is sweet as gold, but
No, I don't know.
There it is.
I have no idea.
that's what we chant.
You'd have to ask Chris. Our friend Chris Wiseman
yeah.
comes and visits us. Mr. Cleo visits us at least once a game. During like probably around a little bit before halftime, he usually shows up and leads us in a few cheers every game. So
And then
that's
that
one
dude
of them.
spits. He picks up on them. He had
Yeah.
a couple of them.
No, they've got songs for just about everybody. The problem is that like they're running out of people because there was a Jimmy Graham song
Yeah.
and there was a Colston song. There's a Drew Brees song.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things. I've had the privilege of sitting in that wonderful section, and they
It's an
gave-
experience.
It's tremendous. I highly recommend it. But their nickname for Colston was the Big Smooth, so they would rub their arms to show smoothness because that's how he played. He was a smooth character.
He was good. He had I remember, the first 6 years he had impeccable hands.
I just can't believe that, they're all gone, right?
They're
Pierre Thomas,
Streif and
Pierre Thomas is gone. Marcus Colston is gone. It's basically just Drew Brees and
It's Drew and Zach Streif and Thomas Morstead.
that's it.
And that's basically the heart of the
Super Bowl
those championship team. That's all who's left now. So you're in a new era.
Uncle Joe and Sean.
Oh yeah, so those guys are
Ricky.
still there. Joe Vitt and Sean Payton are still around.
But I mean, Colston, he had, what was it, 9 years? 10 years. That's a long career.
But
Do you remember the
receiver.
Hofstra commercial? Hofstra?
Sure.
That was 2006. Do you know where our rookie, which isn't
Hofstra?
even a program, Hofstra.
Yeah.
Hofstra? Hofstra.
Hofstra. That was the best.
Which isn't even a fucking program anymore.
No, that's how much time has passed. But I mean, you're talking about the all-time leader in receptions, in touchdowns, in reception yardage. I mean, it's been a privilege to be able to sit there and watch that.
Hell of a
last 10
pick,
years.
7th round and shit.
Yeah, it's one of the special things that happens. But people are already asking whether or not they should draft a receiver in the first round. I think Laquan Treadwell might be available or might not be available, and to replace Marcus Colston, who they drafted in the 7th round.
Right.
So,
yeah.
who knows what they ought to do there?
I think I loved about him is that I know a lot of gets said about his character and his demeanor and what, but it's more than him just being, a gentleman and soft-spoken, particularly because his peers, that he came from an era of this enfant de terrible receiver, where everybody was expected to be brash and showy as a receiver, and he bucked it, and he just wasn't that way, and it was admirable. He just put up the stats.
Excuse me.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
All good.
All right.
I've had a lingering cough since Endymion.
Wow.
Yeah.
We get people with lingering stuff going on. right?
Endymion's disease.
Yep.
So Bacchus sucks. Endymion sucks. Endymion will give you some stuff. Bacchus will cut your football players.
Well, and kill you in
Right.
certain cases.
Basically, we're getting at fuck a bunch of super crews.
Yeah, but we
which
did
is-
this already.
I know, but just to
This is
remind
old
people.
territory.
No, but
how would you know? You didn't listen to the Mardi Gras episode.
Yeah, I mean,
Shut up, Mark. You haven't listened to any episode.
I heard it was 3 hours though.
Anyway, so what else we have to run through here? So here's something else you guys might like. Today, the city council decided that they were going to change a law proposed by Susan Guidry, which would reduce the fines associated with marijuana possession in New Orleans.
Hey!
Yeah, so I mean, she's been actually at this for a while. It's instead of the state law, which is like $300 and maximum 15 days in jail or something like that. Oh, I'm sorry, 15 days to 8 years in jail.
Right, okay.
That's
any
bad
amount?
for possession of marijuana. It depends on, I guess, the amounts or the discretion of the judge and various things.
Oh, God.
But-
both those things scare me.
Mandatory
Discretion of
minimums.
judge.
Well, I'm sure it's fair across the board, no matter how.
Yeah, applied evenly to everyone
What-
consistently.
What Guidry wants to do in New Orleans is change that to a fine of between $40 and $100, depending on whether it's your first offense, second offense, third offense.
All right, dictator for life, Susan Guidry.
Well, she
Get it going.
so that's been altered though, because originally she wanted to just have the police issue you a series of warnings before it even got to fines.
Oh, that's even better.
Well, she
No
had
way. That ain't going to happen. They're
That
going to
would-
have weeder maids out there.
weeder maids.
Yeah.
Weeder
Just
maids.
walking around looking for somebody who's got, and then giving them the ticket.
Well,
I mean, it could be. It could
Yeah,
come
it's
to
a
that.
way to make money.
I
see what she's. I'm picking up what she's
These
laying
fines
out.
are actually cheaper than some of the parking
They
violation
are.
fines.
They are. I'm sure there's not there's no booting.
Well, that's fair because marijuana is less harmful than than driving a car.
Than parking.
So
Right.
Right.
Cite me
Fine
for
with that.
marijuana possession, please, officer. I'm high. Yeah. Well. Yeah,
Weeder maids, y'all.
Right. And they
Weeder
can't,
maids.
as long as they can't boot your stash, I think.
That's
don't
yeah.
give them that idea. What are you doing?
How would you do that?
By booting it, they'll be like, "I'll just take this."
That was-
Okay.
Because
That was a mistake. I'm sorry.
yeah,
The reason they changed it from the reason that they have to go to fines directly now is because Leon Canizero complained. Canizero and
Well, we can't have that, obviously.
no, all right, we can't. So Canizero and Newell Norman, who gave a speech last week where he did several things. He said some funny things about the governor, and but he also complained about going too light on marijuana.
He does hate weed.
He does.
He got really angry at a press conference, I think earlier this year. Like, all chaos was going to break loose when they decriminalized it.
That's-
And he had a scared look in his eye, like, I can't believe they're doing this. It's like, hey, it'll be okay.
That's basically what happened again.
God,
And
why
that's
does he
why-
hate weed so much?
That's why they can never get it through the legislature. The last couple of years, where they've tried to reduce the fines or decriminalize marijuana, let alone legalize it. But the sheriffs always revolt, and it's because they have
Because they bust
Well,
people and
but not just the sheriffs, though, the prosecutors as well.
right.
Because the current penalties add a lot of leverage, usually, because it's a common, thing to find. And if there's multiple infractions or whatever,
So they're trying to get you on a charge that maybe they can't prove, but they can definitely prove you on the...
additional leverage is part of their arsenal, I think, is a big part of it. Yeah. So prosecutors...
We suspect that maybe you burglarized this place,
Yeah.
but we know you had this weed on you.
Right.
So...
Right. There's 8 years there if it's second or third time, perhaps, or... Yeah, I think that plays into it, and you'll see the prosecutors using other arguments. They don't say that, but too often. But there's the slippery slope and other BS. But
They want it as a tool.
yeah,
use
they want it
to-
as a tool. Sheriffs, same way, I guess.
So my thing about it is that this is going towards legalization. I mean, it's already happening in
Yeah.
some states,
Oh.
and it's going to happen eventually. I mean, it's just that's going to be the way it goes eventually. Why do we have to go through these stupid incremental steps of, well, we'll reduce the fine and we won't take it seriously, or we will take it seriously, or we'll make it this situation, which is the worst possible thing, where you have a municipal law that says one thing or a state law that says something different, where the police have discretion to, cite you either way. So you set up a situation where you have discrimination cases. You open yourself up to all sorts of lawsuits and things
Yeah.
where they can choose. Well, we're going to cite you under the state law, or we're going to cite you under the under the municipal fines law.
Well, and in the
So-
worst case scenario, the law could eventually be found unconstitutional by the Supreme Court of the United States, and then the council might try to repeal it, and then it not actually get repealed, as happened in Baton Rouge earlier in last year. I
Is
believe.
that what happened in Baton Rouge?
Yeah, they had a sodomy law
Oh, okay.
in
Yeah.
Baton Rouge, and
Oh God.
and it was struck down by the Supreme Court, and the council it came up for a vote to repeal the unconstitutional, unenforceable law because Baton Rouge police had still been citing people under this law, and the council wouldn't repeal it because it's Baton Rouge. So good work, everybody.
So no one wanted to be on that bill.
Yeah,
Like-
you got to run for re-election.
In the
and,
obituary,
guess
you know,
what?
this
You're-
fine man is like also
You're-
repealed the sodomy law. I'm like, whoa, hold on a second.
I mean, it's
I don't
just-
want to be remembered for that now.
That's just ridiculous.
I mean, I'm down with sodomy.
But
and weed. I'm down with sodomy and weed, Mark.
Why don't we, tax the latter and make a little money so we're not in such severe budget crises.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
that's where I feel like the state legislature could really close that gap
So
pretty quickly if they wanted
ideally,
to.
they would do this via, normal taxation and not the criminal justice system. I mean, using
Yes.
the penal code to extract money from people
Exactly.
in a very aggressive way instead of just like regularly taxing regular commerce, which is what this actually
Yeah,
is.
and it's a huge slap in the face to everyone who's ever been arrested or did time or paid fines for weed. It's just like, oh, okay, what we used to say was bad is now okay, and guess what? Now we're making the money off of it. Sorry, drug dealers who did 10 to 12 years in federal pen.
Mhm.
What you did was actually not wrong. Actually, we're now the ones doing it. We're making the money. I can see how that would make some people bitter. Although, by all means, legalize weed.
Okay.
Although now, I never thought that would happen in my lifetime.
One of
And now that I just could give a fuck about weed anymore, it's like, oh, great. Now I don't even care about it
Yeah.
anymore.
Where was this?
It makes
10
me
years
paranoid
ago?
and weird, and I don't really go near the shit. Oh, so you're gonna legalize it? Great.
Right.
Thanks for nothing, y'all.
there are so many things though that you never thought you'd live to see that are actually happening nowadays. It's really kind of, Trump is going to be president, so it's one of those things, man.
Yeah.
And he killed the USFL, which is what we say every time we talk about Donald Trump.
Well, we forgot to say that earlier. Thank you for bringing that
And
up.
that was a
Yeah.
huge dick move of his.
It was.
We could have had football in the summer.
Okay.
What else do we have here?
And fuck the Generals. His team sucked anyways.
Yeah, no,
They never did
He
shit.
also sunk the entire league. Like he destroyed the league.
Yeah.
I'm having extreme deja vu right now.
I know.
Did we?
Yeah.
All right.
What else do we have?
And Jim Mora played Bobby Hebert in a championship game.
You guys.
Yeah.
What?
You're
No.
killing
What? That
me.
happened?
That did happen.
We could have been saying
And
who that-
Steve Spurrier was a coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bandits, was it? How long can we go on this?
And
Well,
Oakland
the
had a
point that
team
we've done
called
before.
the Invaders.
Okay. Do we have time for another?
Their logo had a hand holding a lightning bolt.
Right.
Stu, are you not entertained?
Okay, so we're gonna. I think.
I have bumper music we got to use. We're gonna have to take a break
Okay, so we're
so I
gonna.
can plug the bumper.
We've
music in.
devolved into.
and I want to save too.
Yeah, so
We'll
we're gonna just.
be right back.
Yeah.
What? What, Allie?
We'll be right back.
I know.
Is that recording?
Yeah, we're back, ladies and
Are you-
gentlemen,
are you
brothers
sure?
and
Just
sisters.
Seamless transitions here.
We got our last few segments left.
Professionals, Mark.
Right,
We're
obviously.
going to get to those viewer questions here in a little bit.
I have a degree in podcast production from Trump University.
You can't beat that.
That is evident.
The Better Business Bureau
Yeah, MAGA,
Right.
baby.
certified it.
Right. So, what are we doing, Lance?
Twitter questions.
We're doing Twitter. Let's do Twitter questions first. Yes.
No, okay, we're doing Twitter questions this week. We teased the fact that we had Mark on talking about the election, so a lot of these are about the election.
Yeah.
So
Look at the feedback.
Quite a tease he is.
Sorry, everyone who thought we were going to talk about restaurants. We'll get to it.
okay, well, we are going to get to it. Let's see.
What I just said, Jeff. Jesus.
You put up with this week in, week out.
This is going to be
Less Jeff. You don't want to have to edit that out.
all right. Let's start with
Jeff edits out the y'all. Tim and them. When Jeff is the editor, he edits out the Do y'all realize how nice that is?
We're doing
What
this
a
for
product
you.
you're getting
We're doing this for you. Tim
for
and
me.
them.
Oh, for Tim and them. Yeah,
Tim and them.
definitely.
We're trying to give you a good product here. We're trying to produce the
Well, Jeff
finest,
is anyways. I don't fucking
the
care.
finest thing that we can possibly come up with.
I'll keep it real.
All right. Twitter questions this week. So let's start with this one.
So let's start with this one.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let's back up and edit that part out. All right.
Okay, less
You guys are literally killing me.
Okay.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Is it out
Go
yet?
ahead.
Is it
No,
done?
no, go
Did
ahead.
you get it? You got it?
I got it.
You got it. Okay.
Yeah, let's
So the first one is from Ira Ray, who asks, what influence will the presidential election have on the local elections in Louisiana? And he asked specifically about the congressional elections in District 3 and 4, and also the senatorial race to replace David Vitter. The only thing I can say about the Senate race and LA 3 right now is that today Scott Angel announced that he is going to run for Congress in District 3 and not for Senate. So, and my only theory about that is that he was scared of Joseph Cowell, who is running for Senate.
Yeah.
Anjo Cal?
Mhm.
He's back?
Mhm.
Hell yeah.
He's back, baby.
He's
Right,
back.
and he's intimidating all over the place, apparently.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know that the presidential election is gonna really affect the Senate race in Louisiana. I don't know how that's gonna what's gonna happen. Depends
Well,
on who the
Ted-
nominee is.
Well, Kevin Allman also told us that next week Ted Cruz will be in Mandeville with Gene Mills and one of the Duck Dynasty guys.
There
So
was
that is a party that I do not want to be invited to.
there is this great video. Remember a couple of weeks back when the Duck Dynasty guys endorsed David Vitter, or was it David Vitter or was it somebody else?
The one where they were out in the country? And
Well, yeah, where they're out-
Yeah, it was Vitter.
It was Vitter because it was Vitter he had just come out of Bass Pro Shop with his new
Oh,
camouflage
yeah.
outfit.
It still had the tags on and stuff. Yeah.
So they endorsed Cruz a couple weeks back,
Uh-huh.
and they also made a video. And you
Aw.
can go and look at this video, and it's Ted Cruz in camo, but also
He's got the face paint.
face paint, and they're out in the duck blind, and Cruz is looking around suspiciously at what might happen to them while they're carrying their guns. It's really exciting stuff.
Can ducks kill us?
Right.
Right. Well, it's about staying vigilant, and I think he wanted to really convey that with his face paint.
There might be a Duck Dynasty curse coming. Once you do a commercial with them, it's done.
Well, you have to check the record because I think that they endorsed Jindal when he was running for re-election, or did they?
Sure.
Did they figure into that one?
Oh, re-election?
Yeah.
I would assume so, but I don't recall offhand.
They were getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars per episode of their shitty show, so
Yeah.
I'm sure they endorsed the governor.
Yeah,
who
at
was
least they could do.
keep that gravy train rolling.
What's the next Twitter question? I don't know if we even answered that one.
Yeah, it's presidential election. It's still so up in the air. I don't, know how you can forecast that specifically.
I don't even know
right
who
now.
the 4th District race is. I feel so
Yeah.
unprepared.
Yeah, it's I don't think Hillary's going to have many coattails. I'll put it that way if she's the nominee.
Okay.
Oh, man, it's good
Yeah.
having Mark here. He answered
good.
that way better than we
It's
could
going to
have.
depend on who the nominees are. I mean, we can't really. There's not a whole lot I can say about that.
Now, the flip side is, if Trump is the nominee, will any candidate endorse Trump and try to ride that train?
Right. So
It's worked so well for Chris Christie.
Well, I think I think Trump will be pretty strong here, at least in the primary. November, I assume he'll have some fertile territory here, but.
I can't see Charles Boustany getting behind Donald Trump.
No. It puts some of them in an awkward position. But they might get behind him in a
Manus.
milk it toast fashion.
Manus will be the Trump guy.
Yeah, there'll be some
That'll
hardcore
be-
Trump outsiders.
Hmm.
If you like Trump, you're gonna love me, perhaps. It'll be interesting, but impossible to forecast really. But
Until we have the nominees, it'll be hard to think about. What else do we have from people? Larry Larmew wants to know if we're voting for him.
Hell yeah.
Voting for Larry?
Yes.
Okay.
Whatever he has to offer.
Right.
When I hear what he has to offer for my vote, then I will decide
what is his
whether
platform? He's running for president? What's his?
I don't care what his platform is, Mark.
So this is
my bad.
Can he get me out of jail?
This is our friend Larry Larmew, who is AKA OK Awesome.
Whoa, man!
On Twitter,
AKA OK Awesome.
He's running for the Orleans
Isn't he
Parish.
Just at Larry Larmew.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
OK Awesome is dead, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's not. It pops up every now.
So why does he have two personas?
That's an excellent question for him, and I think that as a candidate,
I can't trust anyone who has two personas on Twitter.
Me neither. I want to be clear about
I'm
that.
not going to vote for him. Also, I don't know who he's running
Feel
against.
subtweeted.
Oh, so what he's running for the Orleans Parish Democratic Executive Committee. When you go into your ballot booth this week, you're going to find the presidential candidates, but you're also going to have this whole list of people who are running for depending on the party that you're voting in.
Oh, I think I'm registered as an independent, actually.
Ah, okay.
Sorry, Larry.
So
Damn, I just got screwed out of maybe some favors.
Damn, dude.
I need to party up.
Okay. So have we decided we're officially endorsing Larry or not? I guess we are.
As an entity? As the Hunkerdowncast?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's do Larry.
All right. So if you can vote for Larry, vote for Larry, and then he'll owe us something if he wins. If he loses, then we'll owe him something, I guess.
Well,
But
okay.
I'm not gonna...
So we're not saying we're going to vote for him. We're saying we endorse him.
Yeah,
as the Hunkerdowncast.
We'll do that deal. We'll do that. We'll
So
see.
him, Bagneris, and John Bell Edwards are people.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Have you disavowed anyone as the Hunkerdowncast?
Have we had to disavow anybody yet?
David Duke.
Yeah.
Bobby Jindal.
Just preemptively
Bobby Jindal,
disavow some of these characters.
Preemptively disavowing. That's true. I don't see what else we've got here. It's hard for me to pick out the ones because.
Well, let's move on forward then
All right.
to our new segment, which we used to call "Are You Not Entertained?" But we figured we would give a little bit of a shout out to goth singers and I don't know what the Jam. Do you remember the Jam, Mark?
Yeah.
Well, how would you classify them? The new wave?
I don't.
Mod?
Mod?
You think they're mod?
Okay.
I think the Jam did That's Entertainment first. I don't know. Tim and them, can y'all get back to us on that? But anyways,
Engineer and Pat will know.
Okay.
He's really into new wave.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Does it?
With that haircut.
Does it?
With that haircut, yeah.
I don't know if it does or not.
He really
But okay.
is.
Well, he lurked, and not accidentally. So you never know. The rabbit hole goes deep with those people. We're calling it That's Entertainment. Which where we talk about everything that we did during the week.
Okay.
And let's start with Jeff.
Oh, okay. Well, me this week, and this is actually involves both of us. We participated in Super Bowl III out at the Fly, which we didn't get a chance to talk about the controversy at the Fly this week, but we'll pick up on that later. The Vibrios,
The Vibrio, previously undefeated.
Vibrio Vilnificus Football Club, took a really hard loss
Yeah,
it was
got our asses whipped.
Yeah, by Coach Art and his well-oiled machine of
My Coach Art on Twitter, I think, is his.
My Coach Art. That's right. And also, who else is on their group is on Twitter?
Drunk Intellectual.
Yeah.
He was there. And then that was it, because he must have gone into he did some recruiting, My Coach Art.
Yeah, they brought in some ringers.
And there were some fast guys. There were some big guys. There was one guy who didn't even give a fuck about being there, but yet put up mad stats and made interceptions. He just showed up to, kick ass and chew bubble gum and was all out of bubble gum.
Yeah.
And we were old. We were slow.
And we did not practice once. We did not. In years past, we have held little practices. We have drawn up some, what you might call
scheduled
plays.
this game like 5 days in advance.
No, I know.
Well, still, My Coach Art got his shit together pretty quick.
Well, but because Coach Art is, he's a coach.
Well, he didn't do it the year before when we rolled over those guys by 2 touchdowns.
He brought different guys with him this time.
Yeah, he came correct.
Yeah, and they came out and they were ready to roll. We started the game. We did a chant.
We need to outlaw New Kids on the Block chants before games.
That didn't work so well. We did
We're 0-1 when we do New Kids on the Block chants.
Yeah.
Well, I could have told you that.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
Yeah. Well,
we were unable to hang tough.
it was
with
part
them.
of our arrogance that we thought we could win after doing a New Kids on the Block.
It started off pretty badly. It got. I think we went through like 4 or 5 different quarterbacks on the day because everybody threw.
Everybody wanted to be quarterback at the end, or we let everyone be quarterback.
Yeah, and everybody threw at least one interception.
Yes.
And then.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, shit.
It was pretty bad. We did score one.
They got picked off a lot too. We had,
It's true.
In the second half, if you really look at it, it was a 7-0 game. Like they only scored 1 touchdown in the second half.
That's what it looked like on the box score.
They got up to 28-7 in the first half, and then the second half they won. They only won. They scored 1 touchdown.
When
Yeah,
I read
they
about
scored
it on the
9.
front page of the sports section of the Advocate the next day.
Yeah, it was.
That's what they said.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you really want to hear the recap of the game, it was. I mean, they were prepared. They came and they just were ready to go. And we took a while to get our shit together, and we scored 1 touchdown before halftime. And then after
That
that,
invigorated us.
that we were really excited because that was like the last play before halftime.
And a giant Polish man who our sponsor, Magnolia Builders, because they build it better, named Josh, I don't know, some other Kowitz.
Josh Polish man.
He was our quarterback, and he scored a touchdown.
He threw the touchdown.
He threw the touchdown to Jeff,
Right.
and that was a beautiful play. And we left
I got
the field.
behind everybody.
It was 21-7, and we were ready to come ahead in the second half.
Right.
I guess they scored 2 touchdowns in the second half.
Yeah, but it was a lot. It was a lot more. Like we had our stuff together a little bit more in the second half.
Yeah.
We had, anyway.
They were resting on their laurels a little bit, I think.
And it's hard, at our age to really go out there. I mean, there's only so much that you're going to get out of us. I mean, I know.
We're old.
I spent the next couple of days like in recovery. I could not. And this is just from one day of doing this. And
Yes.
And I'm not inactive. I mean, I ride my bike to work a lot. I jog regularly. But this is different kind of running. This is, changing directions and trying to cover people. And you get up the next morning and you can't, everything on your body hurts. And you
It's
can't.
the devouring hands of time.
Yeah.
They just. And then there was a fight.
The inexorable march towards death.
Well, exactly. And it's. We are
not entertained, folks.
We are all doomed, and it was right for the Saints to release Marcus Colston because he's almost as old as we are, and so that's.
I had an almost. I've never been quarterback. I've never thought of myself as a quarterback. I'm not even that type of guy. I had a drive at the end that almost took us to score, and I would have been like, "Wow, I threw a touchdown pass," which I don't think I've ever done in my whole life. And then it got picked off, and then one of my teammates when the guy picked off the pass, tackled the guy instead of two-hand touching them. Because apparently there had been some rough housing before that.
Yeah, we had no idea this was going on.
Well, no, like the previous time when we all decided to tackle somebody who was being an asshole, we all agreed to tackle the person who was being an asshole. Instead, this one guy freelanced, went rogue, if you will, and just tackled a guy. And then that guy who was huge, a big motherfucker, threw a punch at our teammate, and it missed.
So,
and then everyone broke it up, and then the game was over.
That was one of those things that happens in slow motion. Like I almost knew this was going to happen. And the guy had the ball, and Robert's going at him, and he tackles him, and I go, okay, what's going to happen next? And I'm just watching the dude's face as they both get up, and as soon as I saw that look on his face, I'm like, oh God, this is going to be a thing. And then it was a thing for a minute.
It was broken up real quick, which as all fights should be.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason. There's no reason.
Everybody should, as soon as a fight's about to happen, everyone should just jump in and start to break it up.
Right.
Like, every time I see one of those videos, I'm always just like, why isn't someone just jumping in and breaking it up? Anyways, the Vibrios went down, and we're no longer undefeated.
Yeah, it's a shame. So,
what did you do, Mark?
Well, nothing quite that exciting. My goodness, I took the family to get po' boys one day. I'll give a shout out to Avery's Po' Boys on Tulane. I like them
love
a
that
lot.
place.
Yeah, have some good stuff there. But this isn't the most exciting thing, but it's the thing that really just kind of grinds my gears the most.
Grinds the gears.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
It's we got our daughters in the French immersion program at Audubon.
I like the way this is starting.
Yes, and we thought, hey, we had trouble with languages, me and my wife. Let's just immerse my daughters early on. So they've been in there for years and years now, and it seemed like a good idea, not just to learn a language, but to think differently. You know about. Have two different...
Like apple.
Yeah, two different words in your mind for apple, you know?
It doesn't have to just be an apple.
It doesn't, no.
It could be a manzana.
Yeah, or...
Just think different.
Yeah. So, that can backfire on you. This is just a word of advice more than an entertaining story, because kids have homework. They might need help with homework.
Right.
They're learning mathematics in French. So my daughter is in 6th grade. She's working on decimal proportions, percentages, a little bit of more sophisticated math that I can't just BS my way through and helping her with, I have to figure it out. It's in
You
French.
can't do your normal parenting style, which is BS your way through it.
So the
just bluff it.
The textbook is in French.
Yes.
Okay.
So how do you say,
mathematics-
fuck it, we'll do it live in French?
Mon Dieu, or something. Sacre bleu. I don't know, but I spent about 2-3 hours one evening just going crazy trying to learn French math.
That's quite an effort, though. I applaud you.
The problem
for 3
is
hours.
The po' boys were much more enjoyable, but that's something to consider if you're thinking about an immersion program, because it'll bite you in the ass unless you're fluent.
Do you know what the problem is?
No.
It's the metric system.
Well,
Wait, what does this have to do with the po' boys, though? Did
boys,
they know what cochon de lait was?
I needed a po' boy after.
And you're like, hey, fuck this, we're going to get po' boys.
Yeah, it was
Comfort eating.
Right.
Okay.
A French, whatever the opposite of immersion. What is the opposite?
They don't have
extraction program.
Right.
So, number one, never allow your children to learn things that you yourself are not proficient in.
Yeah.
And number two, just go get comfort.
If it gets too bad,
if all fails, a po' boy can help you rather than figure out why they say 80 420s in French and quatre cinq.
Well, what kind of po' boy did you get?
Well, let's see. I got Oyster po' boy.
Of course.
Avery's
surprisingly.
has a really good one. It's a buffalo shrimp po' boy.
Yeah, they got
They
some
coat
good
the
ones.
they coat the shrimp in the buffalo sauce and they put blue cheese on it. And it's really really.
That sounds
good.
bumping.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, they do good
Avery's
stuff
on Tulane.
Hell yeah.
Check
Right.
it out.
there. Yeah, their ice machine is courtesy of Pure Water Tech. Just as a quick little promo there, so enjoy the
Awesome.
ice there.
Also, remind me to hit up Avery
Pure Water
for a
Tech, if y'all
sponsorship.
want to drop us a little bit of, dough for that endorsement,
or Avery's Po' Boys.
Or Avery's.
Right.
No, man, now we're talking about payola and shit.
Yeah, that wouldn't
I
be
mean,
right.
it's a
The French immersion school's not going to give us shit, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know.
politics intensive show. So yes.
Kind of give and take there, but yeah, that's my "Are you not entertained?"
Okay.
No, it's,
Emphasis on the not entertained.
entertainment.
I have some
Sally?
I have some entertainment.
Please salvage
The
us.
last 2 weekends, I've had friends in town, so I have gone to eat at several establishments. One new, one old. Went to Commander's for brunch as 2 weeks ago.
with the martinis. Or
Do they have a bottomless beverage there?
They don't. It's a 3-course brunch, jazz brunch. So
Yeah.
the band going around and the and you get your 3 courses and we did get drinks, but they were not bottomless. So, but it was lovely. It's always lovely.
When the band came to your table, did you provide a request?
I did.
Oh, what was it?
I believe I requested. Oh yeah, this was great. I requested just a closer walk with thee, and they played it as just a bowl of butter beans. So I really.
They actually sang it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
A bowl of
Butter beans. Yeah, it was really great.
It still sounds beautiful.
I enjoyed it very much. And actually,
I'm sorry.
So what do you have at brunch there? Like, is it just what you would think of as brunch fare? Like, eggs in 1,000 different ways for
yeah,
$40?
they got your eggs.
You have
they
a problem with $20 eggs?
$40 eggs.
They got Gulf fish. They got the main thing at Commander's is the dessert. I think they're pretty famous for this. They do a bread pudding souffle.
You have to order it before you even show up or something.
Yeah, and it comes out and they do tableside. They do the whiskey sauce and they like pop your souffle and they pour the whiskey sauce in there and it's really good. I didn't get that this time. I got all new things this time. I got the turtle soup, which I love. I got
Always good.
Mankles loves the turtle soup.
that's so good. They come, again they do sherry tableside. I got. Boy, I'm blanking out.
On what you had at Commander's.
On what I had. But it was really good.
Okay.
The night before, I had gone to Canaan Table, which in the French Quarter, which I hadn't gone to.
Oh, I love Cannon Table.
It was fabulous.
Hell yeah, it is.
The food was good too.
Is that the guy who's complaining about the parking meters?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just go ahead.
They have barbecue ribs there.
Yeah, they had like these deep
fried ribs.
Deep fried ribs with like a pepper jelly on them. They were unbelievable. The cocktails were incredible. I would go back there in a heartbeat.
They have kale salad that's pretty amazing. Yes, there is kale in New
I
Orleans.
didn't get that, but
good.
then
Everyone
then I
speaks
had
well of it.
some other friends in town the next weekend, and we and I also hit up some new places that I hadn't been before, like the tap room at Knoll Brewery.
I have not been there yet.
I did a flight of some sour beers that they had on tap.
How does it work there? Is
Sour
it
beers
just
are
like
mine.
just you just go? It's like you just go there for lunch. It's like they'll seat you like you're at a restaurant and everything, or is it different?
No, it's like open seating. So they have
Okay.
some stand-up tables and some, and there's like a bar, and the bar doesn't have stools, so like you can just like stand up by the bar, or you can get a table. And there's McClure's Barbecue is in the tap room.
Do
so
they come and wait on you, or you?
No,
Have to go to
you go up to a window and order it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, it was pretty relaxing. The beer's great. It was nice because I got to try some new ones that I hadn't had before. I did a flight of some sour beers.
It was all sour beers?
No, those were just the ones that I picked.
Oh, I see.
So you can do a regular glass, or you can do a flight of some smaller ones. And I wanted to try a bunch of the sours they had up there. They had, I think, probably 20 beers on tap. So that was cool.
Is it upstairs, or
No.
is it okay?
It's downstairs. It's right on Tchoupitoulas.
No, I know where it is.
7th.
Yeah, I just I was under the impression that they have maybe they have a.
I think there's a party space.
That's what I was
upstairs
saying,
where
okay.
they have bands. and
There's
shit
a
like
regular
that.
bar and balcony upstairs.
Okay.
But you
Ruins
can get
the
the
neighborhood.
flights and barbecue downstairs.
Oh, maybe I just didn't see the upstairs.
Yeah,
Just
I don't think. I think it's a catering
get,
space.
Hopatoulas to
It doesn't-
take you there one time.
doesn't matter. But okay.
Then the other thing I did with those friends is we went to the World War II Museum and then we ate at Kenton's on Magazine, which the day before had gotten 4 beans from Brett Anderson in the Picayune, and I was super excited because I made that reservation. I had sent my friends a list of 4 places. I was like, I've never eaten at any of these. I would like to try all of them. Are you interested? And they stack ranked them for me, and then I tried to get a table at each one.
What were the other ones?
The other ones were Compere Le Pan, which I couldn't get a table at. That was their number 1. Then Kenton's, then I think Avo, and then I don't remember what the 4th one was.
Well, tell us what Kenton's was like.
Kenton's was great. I had a great experience. We had a really great experience there. Brad Anderson had described it as a whiskey bar that's secretly a seafood restaurant, and we ended up ordering almost all seafood stuff.
Huh.
It was great. They do a lot of smoking with the dishes, so little cigarette butts come out on it. No, I'm just kidding. There was
That was good.
There was a smoked drum mousse with caviar on top of it.
Smoked drum mousse. They make mousse out of fish now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That sounds very 80s, but okay.
No, it came in a little jar.
We're not putting the moose in our hair,
Yeah.
dude.
Right.
That's a crime against nature if Cruz is president.
The best thing, our waiter recommended, I think the best thing that we ate, and it was swordfish. It was swordfish crudo. It was sliced really thin, and it had pickled strawberries and jalapenos and oil on, and green, microgreens and stuff on top. So it was basically a carpaccio of fish, swordfish, and they said it they get a line caught swordfish in every day, and this is what they do with it, and it was one of the best bites of food I've had in a long time.
Well,
it was
good.
Awesome.
Okay.
So Kent, it was packed. Obviously, they said it had been their busiest 3 days ever
Since they made the paper.
Since they made the paper.
Yeah.
So might wait for it to settle down a little bit, but it was a great splurge.
Well, yeah, now we're gonna give him a second bump. from being
Yeah,
on the show.
about to get the HD bump.
Right.
Hunker bump.
So
No,
you
it's
guys
great.
just ate your way across New Orleans this week.
Well, this is what happens when you have friends who come to town. I'm like, I could cook for you, or we could go
Right.
to one of these fabulous places. So that's what we ended up doing. So now I'm just gonna eat homemade salads and chips and salsa for 2 weeks.
Right. Just order pizza.
Holy crap. Well, that's, I don't know. Homemade salad. Okay. That's what you're going to do because you're broke from eating at Kenton's, so it's a upscale place.
Yeah, it was upscale.
Dang.
Did you not get a clue from the description of the swordfish carpaccio that you're going to charge there?
Well, I guess so. I have a clue now, Mark.
I
That's for
splurged,
sure.
and now we're on the turkey sandwich regimen. It happens.
All right.
But also, yeah. So that's my entertainment.
Sounds good. You have anything in addition?
The night after the football game,
Right.
I was in a fashion show. I was a featured model in a fashion show for my homegirl.
In the
Darlene.
same day.
The same day.
Football and fashion. There you
was
go.
Was the mode of that day. So
Freaking
after,
Renaissance man there.
well, all shapes and sizes, Mark. All shapes and sizes. It was at the Rock and Bowl, so it was practically walking distance. My homegirl Darlene made me a pair of chaps out of some curtains, and
Chaps made out of curtains.
Jeremy Abear, who doesn't not an episode goes by that we don't mention him. He was in it also. He had like a see-through top, and it was all from recycled stuff. It was to benefit the Bridge House.
Okay,
All
so
kinds of folks were
recycled
there.
clothes fashion show.
Yeah, and then they
Okay.
made some really amazing.
Hence the chaps out of curtains.
Right,
Well,
right.
She might have leather curtains. I don't know.
Maybe.
Well, they were like canvas or something like that. I put on quite a show on the stage.
Did you though?
And and Darlene's whole family was there. Her mom, who she doesn't get along with, her twin sister, her old
Please spare no details.
former
Right.
English sailor husband, who's
Sure.
11
Yeah.
years older than her, was there.
Uh,
But there was a lot of amazing,
recycled
clothes
clothing.
that benefited the Bridge House that were.
How
I
was
was
the
also
Bridge House
there.
benefited
The
specifically?
Rolling Elvi were there. I don't
Oh.
know. They from everyone getting fucked up and drunk. They helped
Oh, so
people
from
who
the
got
bar
fucked
tape.
up and drunk too
Okay.
much.
I got it.
It was to benefit, people with substance abuse problems, of course, and everything like that.
That makes sense.
Also, right before I was about to go on stage, I got a call from the New Orleans Police Department that said,
that's always
and they said, "Hey, do you know where your truck is?" And I said, "I think it's out in the parking lot." And they were like, "Where are you at?" And I was like, "I'm at Rock and Roll." And they were like, "You need to go check." So I was
So-
like, "Uh-oh."
Okay.
So I walked out of the Rock and Roll, and then my truck's sitting there. I'm like, "Yep, it's there." And she's like, "Huh?" So I hear her talking to somebody. And she's like, he says it's there in the parking lot, and he can see it. And they were like, "Rah, rah, rah," and like, and then I heard him describe it. And they were like a 92 Ford F-150 maroon, blah, 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 blah. I was like, wait, what?
Not your truck.
And they were like, I was like, maroon? And they were like, yeah, maroon. I was like, oh, that's my old truck.
Oh.
And they were like, oh, because we found it out in New Orleans East just running in some lot.
How many bodies were inside?
I don't know, but apparently I sold it to a wrecker on Craigslist,
Uh-huh.
and they hauled it off with a tow truck, and apparently they never changed the title over, and then they must have been working on it because they said that their place was in the east.
Okay.
And then they got it running, and I guess one of the dudes who was working on it just walked off or whatever. And
Really?
then some person came by, saw it sitting there running, reported it as suspicious. The cops thought it was stolen, and they called me. And since I have a 92, I just bought the same truck, but
It's very close.
yeah, I was like,
Just
fuck,
different
man,
color.
y'all, my truck just got stolen. Hold on a second before this fashion show happens. Let me see
Yeah.
what happens. And then it wasn't stolen, and then it was a nice event. The Pussyfooters were there. The Rolling Elvi were there.
Okay,
There was a
back
lot of
to the
amazing
fashion.
costumes.
Entertainment.
That's good. But you were
I
able
did a lot of
to,
shots.
you were able to do your little turn on the catwalk, even with your bad knee from the.
Well, I didn't. I was really sore the next day, like body sore, like so many things were sore.
Mhm.
But I don't know if it was from fashion or football, Jeff.
Oh, so it may be a fashion injury.
Could have been anything. I danced on stage. It could have been
Yeah.
from that.
Okay.
The show must go on.
Yeah, the show. Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
All right.
I like your style, Mark.
Pretty good.
And yeah, I've always had a good time at Rock and Roll. They weren't bowling though. Is it time?
I think it might be time to close out that segment.
Well, we're gonna roll right into the jive wire.
Oh, I thought we were going to roll right into the recipe minute.
Oh,
We're doing
Recipe
that.
Minute, my
I
bad.
think we should probably cut the segment down and then roll right.
We don't have bumper music.
All right.
All right, let's do it.
Roll right into the recipe minute then.
Recipe minute. Okay, I made a chili for a chili cook-off at work, and I did it using a recipe from Jeff's wife, Chris.
Oh.
And
Nice.
and this chili uses the flavors.
I think I know this recipe actually.
Flavors of mole.
That's good.
And it was delicious. So I got some ground beef from
Ground
you know,
beef.
from Whole Foods. You can also use stew meat. I had them grind some beef for me in what they said was a stew grind, so on like the biggest holes, so it's like real chunky.
A stew grind.
Stew
Yeah,
grind.
big
is
holes
Big
Which Whole
holes.
Foods?
coming out like
Broad
fingers.
Street?
Broad.
Hell yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, I know this recipe with stew meat,
Yeah.
but this is a stew grind of whole.
Yeah, so
of ground.
It was ground,
Stew
but it
ground.
was real chunky. cinnamon and cocoa powder and all that stuff, and shook all the meat with it in the bag and sautéed it and got a real nice crust on the bottom of the pot, the fond.
It smells good when this is happening.
It does. It does. I did that. I added in onion and green pepper and garlic and let that loosen up the gunk on the bottom of the pot.
Hell yeah, that sounds ballin'.
Gunk loosening.
Added a shit ton of tomato paste and let that brown on the bottom too.
I'm getting hungry.
Then started to put in the liquid. So tomatoes, beef broth, get all that liquid going, and added a full bar of baking chocolate.
Yes.
Whoa.
Sounds robust.
Yep, bittersweet baking chocolate, and then a bunch of cocoa powder too, a couple tablespoons of cocoa powder. And then I had made a paste per Chris's instructions of peanut butter, tahini, and dried chilies.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of grinding my own peanuts and sesame seeds, I just used peanut butter and tahini because it's the same damn thing. And added that in, so the whole mixture had this, earthy, peanutty, chocolatey kind of flavor to it. And then I just kept adding tomato paste to counterbalance it. And, messed around with it until it was right, and then chilled it in the fridge. Next day, I brought it in the crock pot and heated it up, and it did not win, but I thought the flavor was really, really good.
It didn't win.
No, it didn't win.
Ah, son of a bitch.
It was the people's champion, I bet, though.
No, I mean, I really liked it. I think it was too weird it was a little too out there for most people.
Oh.
So, best cinematography.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the one everyone knew was the best one.
It won a technical achievement award.
Speaking of which, the night of the Oscars, I was coming in the door there, and what?
And that's the recipe.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But
Anyways,
please tell us the story.
I was coming in the door. I knew the Oscars were on, and I just heard this sound from a house a few doors over that sounded like the Saints had scored a touchdown.
Okay.
And I was like, well, fuck, somebody really feels passionately about some shit that just happened on the Oscars.
Uh-huh.
And then I was thinking, I don't know what could have conjured such a response.
Right.
And then I didn't watch it. I just went to bed and kind of sat there thinking, I wonder what it was. So I decided in my mind that it was because The Big Short must have won, and I know that it was filmed here, so I imagined that it was a bunch of crew people who were so happy that they were part of an Oscar-winning movie.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
But then it must have been because Leonardo DiCaprio won. But why
But
would somebody cheer so loud over that?
What does this have to do with the stew meat? You just...
It
Because
wasn't.
he used an Oscar metaphor.
It wasn't.
Oh, okay. All right. I just
Okay.
didn't understand how we got into this, but okay.
Sorry, I thought I was tripping there for
Yeah, I
a
was
second.
thinking.
You made me think I was tripping.
Bear meat or something. I mean, what the hell's going on?
Okay.
Did I use one?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
best cinematography.
Yeah.
Best cinematography.
Sorry. Yeah.
I jacked that a little.
I totally didn't know how we got there. But yeah, so some people
Sorry,
were shouting about Leonardo
Sorry.
DiCaprio and
I am sorry.
All right, read the damn jive word. Let's get out of here.
Hold on a second, god damn it.
This is going to be edited out.
Allie's gonna read it.
No, there's no
because
gonna-
I jacked her on the recipe minute.
Okay.
I'm
You
not
ready?
gonna read it.
Come on.
You read it. You do the best reading.
Okay.
I'll
read it. This is the Hunkerdowncast Jive
We're
Wire,
reading it now. Okay,
your
good.
fake music calendar for no night in particular. The Jive Wire is sponsored by Magnolia Builders because we build it better. For more information, visit magnoliabuildersllc.com.
They're doing a project on Magazine Street right now.
Yeah, it's a coffee shop. I think they're done with that.
Oh, great.
And build it better, too.
Yeah.
It's
It
built
looks-
better. Y'all can go in and check it out.
Looks good.
They also did Chops Meadery.
Ah.
Choops Meadery.
Yeah, both of them.
Some other shit. They're good. They're good.
All right.
They did my kitchen. If y'all have ever been over there.
I love your kitchen.
The Steamboat Queenie hosts Cali Calliope at sunset. Kiba and the Plush Stones are at Airport Grift Shop at 6.
All right.
Muttering Bills features Gutter Punk Tampon, Meg Lousteau's favorite, at 6. The Apple Bottom Bar hosts who?
Gaseous Clay.
At 6. We got Gaseous Clay in the house tonight, y'all. The Urinal Bar has Beer in the Book Drop at 6.
Yeah.
Repubic hosts Brain Eating Abita at 6.
Yeah, that's
a hard one.
I see that one a lot.
Vagina Friendly hosts C-Ray Cray Cray at 6. The Back Room at the Leather Bar features So Long Solange at 7.
I think I found her ring in my truck the other day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was from like a bunch of Muses shit, and there's just a ring. sitting
Your
right
truck,
on
not the one the police called you about.
No, not
Okay.
the stolen one. 70 Ski Chalet has the Lusher Lushes at 7. The Frenchman Street Taco Truck has Gassy Brassy at 7. Stitch Heart Studio has the Faceless Pineheads at 7. The Strobe Light Lounge hosts Meg Lestat at 7.
Her second favorite. That's Meg's second favorite.
But Cheeky Wawa hosts Sarah with an H at 7. This Space Available's Jazz Playhouse features Donald Trump and the MAGAs and the hashtag MAGAs at 7.
Okay. I was wondering where they were.
This Space Available's Jazz Playhouse.
I like that one.
Good.
Yeah.
The Audubon Boulevard Bar features the One Percenters at 7. The Pink Elephant hosts Fred I. Dick at 7.
I don't want to see that.
Betty's Pub and Grub and Rub and Tug. You want to see that, don't you, Jeff? Features
That's
the
just-
Happy Endings at
That's
7.
just every day.
Yeah.
Liberia features Spoken Word with Remy A. Yodel at 8. Fink McFunks has St. Baldrick's at 8. One-Eyed Jacksons host the Ginger Gingers at 8. Fitbits has Blood Splenda at 8.
They always play there.
That's their weekly
The house
gig.
band.
Molly's Irish Cooter has the Whistle Biscuits at 9.
Whistle biscuits.
The Country Flub has Bro and the Totally Straights at 9.
They're underrated.
Aunt Lorraine's hosts the Black Professionals at 9. The Tyler Bridge Lounge hosts the White Dad Blues Experience featuring Engineer Pat at 10.
Excellent.
Bywater Space Place features the Doug McCash Money Spillionaires at 10. And then there were 8 is at the Old Appointment Bar at 10. Johnny Bell and the Penny Whistles at the Revenue Bar in Baton Rouge at 10.
No, they do exist.
Shake and Bakes hosts Gutter Gravy at 11. And the Booty Bounce Bar features Sneezy Dizzy and the Section 8s at midnight.
I like that there's a lot of stuff going on. It feels like Jazz Fest is
It's a
coming.
happening town.
Yeah.
There's a little bit more. There needs to be more 2 o'clock gigs. But
Maybe.
maybe next week.
Yep.
The Hunkerdowncast Jive Wire is brought to you at the oddest hours. For an extended listing, check out hunkerdowncast.com/jivewire, which I haven't set up that page yet, so no, don't go there.
Very good.
To get your gig into Jive Wire, tweet to @HunkerDowncast or email hunkerdowncast@gmail.com. Now get out there, support
And enjoy.
some live local music.
All
Well,
right.
hopefully we didn't do that with the reverb on.
Do it with the reverb on.
Do it live with the reverb. But yeah, so I think that's it. this
At
week.
the Soundboard Bar at 11.
Enjoy that nearly 2-hour podcast.
No, oh yeah.
Yeah, we did it again,
Yeah,
man.
we did it
Congratulations.
Holy smokes.
Congratulations to us. Yeah, it
We
was,
talked about some important shit that wouldn't have been said otherwise.
I think so. It's also congratulations to us on episode 10. It's a
Yeah,
nice
wow.
round number. I feel
Yeah.
like we have really grown, and we're going to continue to grow the podcast. Thanks to Mark for being with us again.
What'd you think, Mark?
A small part of it.
This is the first episode you're actually going to listen to, I bet.
No,
I
it's
feel
not.
like I've already heard it. But maybe you can edit it down to
Yeah.
45 minutes.
You're gonna love what we do in post production. It's come out great.
Yeah, you're going to sound
I hope so.
marvelous, man.
But
God
anyway,
willing.
you can you follow Mark on Twitter, or can you? Is it? At Oyster.
Yeah,
You can also,
at Oyster.
Mark is also the reason we had him on here is because he's one of the most original and smartest political analysts you're going to find. If you check out his blog at righthandthief.blogspot.com, doesn't come out as
Your
often
right-hand thief,
as
right?
it used to,
No, it's kind of selectively post these days.
but yeah. So take
Well, yeah, he's got to learn French, so.
that's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
got a lot.
I got
on
a
his
lot
mind.
going on
Got to
between
learn
the,
French math.
Right.
between the
Plate
French
is
trap
full.
and the po' boys. It's a hassle.
But anyway, so thanks again for that. Allie, where can we find you?
I'm on Twitter at Allison_DeYoung.
Okay, and where can we find Lance?
At Varg Vargas on Twitter. There's so much stuff. I can't even get into it.
All the places, even down at the shop sometimes.
Yeah, I can't get into
Dirty
it.
Boys Gallery.
There's at Dirty Boys. There's at Varg Vargas. There's Facebook pages for each of them.
We set up a Hunkerdowncast Facebook page.
Right, we did. Where
So-
fun stuff will happen.
So if you prefer Facebook to Twitter, we've got you covered now.
Right, so you can like
Don't
us
tell
on.
my mom.
You can like us on Facebook. Don't tell my mom. Like us on Facebook. Follow us at Hunkerdowncast on Twitter. Check out our website, hunkerdowncast.com. Email us at hunkerdowncast@gmail.com if you have any suggestions. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, if you have anything to submit to the Jive Wire, let us know. Other than that, I think we're done for this week, and thanks again for listening.
Bye.